Anyways, the only thing that was left of the entire area was burned and smoldering wreckage. It was the 8 survivors from this out of the 31 people at it would survive, along with the 12 people who were on this boat. Only 3 would actually survive it. Meanwhile, after this horrible incident just happened, there was 15 people who were actually on the ship. Three were in the engine room. The captain and one of the officers who had been luckily enough invited to be able to be in here, or basically having a nice time just in there. 2 people were on here. One on the AA turret, the other one is standing around in here. I think Captain's guest bedroom, all of them was actually occupied. One was on the counter. Cashier and the captain was on there. 910. One of the guests was actually in the hot tub, surprisingly enough. 11. No, scratch that. And 3 were eating up here. Well, the officer and 4 were eating up here. No, the only officer on the bridge was there, as then, after witnessing this horrible catastrophe that had just been suffered, over there, and for your phone screen. There's 15 people on here. He was stunned. And that's the AA turret then thrown sideways. Some bang. Shocked by this, I signed up down, spun around before the shot in the face.
By briefing the ship's personnel, the manager compromised by coverage.
Blowing up, causing an explosion that would then blow the boilers up,
Wait step for international.
killing everyone who was in the engine room, as it's called. And the officer who was actually he was scored with straight metal. The cashier was killed, as in the stern of the boat. As if it was stunned. The other person who was on the thingy also was killed, as then for the prayer guest that ran out and dived into the sea as the rest of the ship then suffered a violent end.
Like flying in an airplane. One on our ship's big. The baby's good at my job.
The officer was only 2 of the people, only one of the people dying survived, and the officer who was in there ran the hell out. Only 2 of the people even survived. And the officer who was on the bridge ran the hell out. Along with the one survived living eater. Huh? Yeah, but I ate like 4 on the cob. Surprisingly enough. Yeah. Yeah, just like a little bit. Not like. How about 6? How about 6? Everyone 6. I'm searching the lab. Anyways, the officer would then die later on from his wounds. The captain would survive, which the officer would just lay in the seat. I let the floating boat turn over.
There's nothing further. I really do have certain obligations.
As the boat then turned over, the captain just sat on it. Meanwhile, the guy who was on the stern simply clinged on. Who was less than the surviving person from the wreckage who was there. Just said, anyways, there's only 15 survivors at this point. Oh, right. Hold up, what? Look at that. So cool. Hey. Prospect. Nice. You're standing in the shadow. Nice. Throw your head back and laugh. You like freak. You worked in a shop like that. You. And Jones. Now, we're playing ink games. And action. You're a goober. Anyways, the captain. The captain obviously in a panic after hearing all this hell that just rained down. I've just been heard.
So I kept telling myself I would quit. Myself
Went shutting the doors, covering the windows.
That seemingly unrelated is actually creating dynamic with my brain, desiring and craving the very thing that I want to do.
You know, the elevator.
Did in the end, like a hypocrite and a fraud as a husband.
Shiz.
Cheers. I felt trapped in the cycle of
Cheers.
resisting and failing over and over again. Like,
Hey,
maybe true for you. It's probably no coincidence that God placed this in front of you today, and like you know, the thing that I thank God for freedom.
Suddenly, as now the mansion. After he literally looked outside of the window and saw this all happening, the hatch cover on the top then exploded, and something suddenly started happening, and he just panicked as the ceiling caved in and dove into his escape. Flying up violently, or suddenly, as he did not realize how to control it. He flew and barely slammed into the lighthouse, slamming his face straight through the windshield. And then surviving. There's 62 echoes inside of the thing.
Identifying this picture. We call us the group.
Meanwhile, two of them